Hi, guys, and welcome to We're Still Here, Babe. Today is a very special episode. Today's guest is somebody who has been part of my life for as long as I can remember. We grew up together, spent many of our childhood and teenage years trying to figure out this crazy thing called Hollywood. We even went to school together for a little while. I don't know if you remember that. And he's always been one of my favorite people that I grew up with. And watching the rest of the world continue to fall in love and stay in love with him has been I'm going to get emotional already, such a joy for me. Of course, you know him as Ham in The Sandlot, and from favorites like The Big Green, Son-in-Law, The X-Files, and so many more. And now he's bringing baseball back in a whole new way with his brand new comedy series, Dugout Dads, reuniting much of the original Sandlot family for a fresh generation. Please welcome my lifelong friend, Patrick Renna.
Oh,
I'm
hello.
emotional.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm already emotional. What's up, man? How are
What's
you?
up? I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, we just finished
Same.
rapping, so I've
Yeah,
lost my voice. You'll hear my voice crack. It's not puberty.
I love it.
Yeah,
I'll
it's a
take it.
lot of baseball field dust and see
Oh my God,
it's
I
gonna happen a
know.
lot.
Seeing you guys on that field was like, yeah, that it was just emotional,
Yeah,
And
it's cool for
and
us.
I have such different relationships with so many of you. It's like such an interesting thing, and you know how close Marty and I are, and me and
Yeah.
Chauncey and me and you, and it's just so yeah, it's been an emotional thing for everybody involved and all of those of us that love you guys so much to see. And I know how special it is to get to come back with your 90s family, and you guys have been able to do it in such a sustainable and impactful way, you know? Like,
Yeah.
so dope. It's such a cool thing to watch. So I just wanted to start by saying that, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So, Patrick Renna. How, I don't even know if I know the answer to this actually, but how did you get into the entertainment industry?
You know, I am born and raised in Boston, and I left when I was 13. I flew to LA with my mom. She got a job opportunity out here. We were we kind of stayed in this little communal like living space sort of where you each had a room and there
I
was a
love
shared
that.
yeah, a
That's
little shared kitchen.
very
Uh
90s.
it was very 90s in Hollywood. And she, my father and her had split, but about I think as good as you can. Like they're still friends to this day. And
Yeah.
um, so she, we were in LA. The craftsman guy working in the garage building stuff they then were together 30 years after that. So we met him in that thing. And uh one day I was just, I always wanted to act. I did plays and things in school, but one day we got a knock on that door, and this photographer said, "Hey, I have a couple models I want to film, and we really like your fence. Can I take their photo on your fence?" And my mom, again, my mom didn't own the house, but she's kind of a Bostonian,
Yeah.
tough, tough lady. So she's like, "All right, you can do it, but you got to take my son's headshots." And he said, "Okay, fine." So I got free headshots, uh,
That's brilliant.
right there on Franklin, in Hollywood
Oh
against a
my
cement wall.
God.
And then I just, that was back in the day when everything was not digital. Everything
Yeah.
was analog still. And you would send your headshots to agents. So I sent it to Judy Savage, and
Mm.
people said, "Hey, if she gives you a call, just don't even meet with her, just take her."
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
so we met, and she signed me, and she told me, "Don't be surprised if you don't work for 2 years. Like, this is a tough business." And I, my first audition was Salute Your Shorts, and I booked it. And then my second audition was Sandlot, and I booked it.
Wow, you're kidding me. That's
Yeah, and
crazy.
and then I came off that, and I think I did Son-in-Law and a couple other things. So I had this sort of charmed beginning,
Right.
and it's not till my late teens and early 20s did I really find out, oh, Hollywood's tough.
Right.
You go out on 100 auditions, and you have to have a thick skin, and so I learned. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't
Yeah.
Charmed forever. But the beginning was just this crazy whirlwind, and I flew out to Utah to film The Sandlot, and um,
So how, let me ask you, how old were you when you did the Sandlot?
13.
13 years
Yes,
old.
I moved to LA
Oh.
1992. I got my headshots, met Judy Savage, and then,
And
whatever it was, I think May, I auditioned for Sandlot and was off.
I've asked Marty and Sean. I mean, I've asked everybody this question, and it would be impossible to know what you guys were about to create. That
Yeah.
it is just such a part of culture, pop culture, like all of these years later. Because when people talk about it, it's like it was just the summer of our lives. We were just a bunch of kids that learned how to play baseball together, and we became best friends, and it was this amazing thing. And here we are all these years later, and it's so impactful, and it's such a huge part of people's histories. So
Yeah.
when you did the Sandlot, there's no way you could have
There's
known.
no way. I don't,
Yeah.
I always say we knew it didn't suck because,
Okay.
people were coming the next day and they were pumped and they watched
Okay.
dailies. But I've also been on a lot of movies with dailies, and I've never heard anyone come on set being like, those were terrible.
Right.
So if they are terrible, they're going to lie to you.
You're
So
not gonna know about it.
I don't think there's any way to know, and I've gone back and forth on that, being like, I think we knew that it was decent. It's impossible to know that it would 33 years later
Yeah.
still be in, three generations of living rooms and still
Right.
mean this much to people.
And that your one specific line would have
Sure.
made its
Yeah.
way on like probably a million
T-shirts
shirts
and
by
yeah.
now. It's crazy. Yeah.
There's no way. And after just finishing a week of Dugout Dads, you know, you hope that it's going to be good, but it's pretty magical for everything to come together perfectly to
Right.
make something special. Even the best in this business make duds.
Right. I know.
So like there's no
There's
there's
just
just
no
no
way
way.
to ever know.
No.
When you were so when you were doing Sandlot, like after that, and when did you and I meet? How old were we? Like 14? I have like
Yeah,
polls in my
probably
brain.
14,
Yeah, 14,
15.
15. And we just like hit it off right away. We were just like, and I think we met in
I
that
mean, hit it
school.
off. I think you for a little more for me than
Oh,
me for
come
you.
on.
Let's let everyone know that
Sure.
I had a bit of a
The other
crush
way
on
around.
Natanya.
Oh,
Yeah, we
well,
definitely hit it off though, big
we
time.
did. We hit it off.
You
Yes, you
well,
might
because
have
I
had
had
a.
my mutual, although Kyle and Brahman were even those are my buds, but
I
those are
think
even
I met
after
them
we first
through
met.
you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
So
actually, Brahman, I met his sister Ashley was in the Babysitters Club with me and Marla.
that's right.
So that's when I met. Maybe that.
And
No.
Larissa, didn't they like have a little
Yeah.
fling or
Oh
something?
my God. Oh, that's right. Her and I still. Oh, she's gonna kill me. We still talk about it to this day. Sorry, Larissa.
Well,
Yes.
he's a
And
very
then
handsome six,
Kyle.
6 foot tall fellow, so it's not a
Yeah.
bad thing.
No, not at all. And then Kyle, I met through you. Yeah, so crazy. So we were young. We were
Yeah,
really young.
probably 15.
Yeah, and I mean, I remember us being so inseparable from that time on till I don't know, maybe about like 18, 19-ish. Many a drunk night, you had to carry me home from La Poubelle
Yeah,
to your
it
dope ass
happened.
apartment, the Hollywood. That I mean, we just
Well, that
the
was Kyle's
best.
apartment, but
Oh, that was Kyle's.
it was
That's right.
basically mine. I think I slept there more than my own house.
That's
So
right.
yeah.
That's right. So okay, so after Sandlot, you're working. You're you did a bunch of movies, guest spots, all of the things. What's teenage life like for Pat? Were you going to high school in between stuff?
Yeah, I stayed at my high school. I actually left my high school for a semester and regretted it and went right back to my old one because I kind of already the high school I went to was a sort of smaller.
Is that
um,
where I went with you?
no, that was
Oh,
like
okay. That was like
3 hours a day
yeah,
actor school.
actor
Like,
school. Yeah, actor
yeah,
school.
yeah. No, I went to, it wasn't big, but it was a smaller private school in La
Okay.
Cañada, and I left for a semester and went to like a bigger school in Burbank, and going to a school after having done some movies was a bit of a struggle. So I kind of went, yeah, I'll go back to my old school. And I mean, lucky for me, all the senior football players love Sandlot, so I was very protected, but
That's
still,
amazing.
yeah, it was a little
Yeah.
different. So I went there till I was 16, and then I just, took, I just graduated early and was off on movies. I wanted to graduate early so that I could go on location by myself at 16. I
Wow.
didn't get emancipated, but
Yeah,
if you had a high school diploma,
you were fine to
you were
go.
fine to go. Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
I think I did the same thing. I think Kyle, like, my mom at a certain point, if someone was over the age of 18, she didn't care. She's like, great, you can take her. You take her tomorrow.
Yeah.
You take her. So Kyle, I know, got stuck taking me to set many
Oh, that's
times.
funny.
But once I was 16, same. I was like, I'll go by myself. Don't worry about it. I'm good.
Yeah.
So growing up in those teenage years, like you were working a lot. What was life like for you as like a younger teenager, like right after the Sandlot and because I know in the
Yeah.
90s it was big, but it's like
Well,
it's
I was
huge
never a
now.
TV star. So,
Mm,
TV was kind of king in the 90s, like
mm.
financially at least. If you were
Yeah,
on a
yeah,
TV show doing 26 episodes, making whatever you're making,
sure.
I never made a lot of money in
Oh,
those early years. I mean, sure, it was nice, but I had to like support myself. And,
right.
I left home at 20 and I
Oh.
had my apartment and,
Where
so
was your first apartment?
I moved. Did you ever come to that orange house in Eagle Rock?
Oh my God,
Yeah, we
yes.
used to have crazy parties. Yeah,
That's right, like all the time.
yeah, all the time. Yeah, well,
That was so
we were
sick.
19 and
We
20.
were
Yeah,
we were 19. And you and I really like clung together too because we were the gingers, you know? And
that's
for the
right.
audience listening, I've said this in quite a few episodes already. I want to make it very clear. It is not easy to go through puberty as a ginger on television or film in
That's
the
right.
90s, no matter how lovable your character might be. People were very cruel in the 90s. And also I think with redhead girls, personally,
Yeah,
they don't really pop till like 14, 15, 16, you know? And I spent like all of the beginning of those years just in front of the world. It was brutal, you know?
yeah.
Did you go through any of that? Like, just because people can be fucking cruel at that at that
I
age.
mean, luckily, we're I was born in 79, so I'm Gen X technically, but it's like that
Oh,
cusp,
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah,
Gen X
yeah.
millennial. And they call it Xennial. So it's like that micro generation. And they say it's the analog childhood, digital adulthood.
Oh,
So
interesting. Okay.
I feel like luckily for me in those early years, it was analog.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of photos. There's not a
Right.
lot of, you know, there was no chat rooms. There were no, comment section. So
Yeah.
I didn't really, I also did all of my growing. All my growing was till 15 and then I stopped. So I was kind of bigger than everyone. So no one
Right.
really messed with me.
Right.
Only into
Right.
my late teens did people start getting way taller than me. But that's why I had tall friends.
Right.
You,
Yeah. As long as you
I
had some
don't know. I
tall.
think it was different for dudes, honestly.
I'm
I'm
sure.
sure like being a young woman in Hollywood has got to be
Oh,
one of the hardest things. For me, um, I was a character actor, so I wasn't attempting to, be something I wasn't. I wasn't on TV. I think I was in a one teeny bopper mag on like page 8. So I didn't have that struggle. I didn't. It,
right.
I guess it's the good part of that. I wasn't Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I wasn't
Right.
in. Our mutual friend Kyle Howard has more of that sort of youngster like heartthrob
Right.
thing.
I
I only
guess
became a
because, yeah.
heartthrob. I only became a heartthrob in my 40s. And now let me tell you,
30s. Don't sell
30s and
yourself
40s have been
short.
awful. I can't go
Well, I'm
anywhere.
actually way more interested in your adult life. Listen, I woke up one day, I was 44. I was like, Natanya, you're about to be 45. And that's just math. And you can do it yourself. And a lot of that, I got to tell you, has been watching people like you over the last few years that just like took the matter in their own hands.
Yeah,
And that's really what this podcast is. I think it was daunting for some people because okay, if you hear Natanya Ross is doing a podcast, you are immediately going to think it's a 90s podcast, right?
yeah,
Or it's a podcast about sobriety or recovery or whatever. And I didn't want this to be either one of those things. I wanted this to be, listen, It just happens to be mostly 90s people. That's not my fault. But I wanted to bring my friends on and talk for like an hour or whatever about some of the struggles we've been through just growing up as humans in the industry, the moments that we weren't, that like we had the 1 foot in still, but like not many people were knocking type of
Yeah.
thing, and just like how that affects the psyche over the years, and what, the good parts, the bad parts, the ugly parts, all of that good stuff. And I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna make this damn podcast. I'm gonna call my friends, ask them to come on, and we're just gonna talk about what life has been like. So
Yeah.
hopefully somebody out there that, Ham Porter is their idol, and they're like, damn, Pat Renna has felt anxiety in his life and this and that, which, I know comes a little later in life once people
Yeah.
aren't fawning over us as much, and we're not as cute anymore, and we're not as booking as much anymore, and then life happens,
Yeah.
right? And that's when you and I kind of lost touch, because I had to go through a very gnarly next 10 years. That was my lot in life, but you went on to do other things. So I want to hear what life was like. Let's talk about Pat Renna 2020 and past.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of took a step back. Well, early 20s, it's funny because I lost a lot of weight in my late teens because I wanted to, meet ladies, and
Of
it
course.
was easier that way.
Right, of course, why not?
So I I wanted to, just kind of, experience life like that. So I kind of took it upon myself. I got in really good shape, and um then getting married and having kids just ruined it all as far as that's concerned. It's just, you get happy, and what are you gonna do? You just eat, I
You're
don't
gonna
know.
eat, yeah.
But I also worked a lot then as well. I did a lot of independent film, and I traveled a lot,
You were
and that was,
acting in these
yeah.
films, yeah.
So,
Wow.
you know, I guess like 13 to like 16, 17, I did a lot of studio movies, Son-in-Law, Big Green, Sandlot. I did a lot of cool TV shows, things like that. Maybe I had, yeah, a bit of a dry spell, and then I, shed some of the weight. Though I met Kyle Howard on Address Unknown, which was one of them, and I always kind of stayed somewhat busy. But again, paying your own rent and figuring it out, I was lucky enough that I could figure it out through acting.
Yeah.
I got into voiceovers, which back then, voiceovers was like,
I
hush
did
hush.
I did a 7 episode, or not episode, it was 7 commercial Coke campaign voiceover.
Yeah,
I know how
well,
much, yeah, I know about
it was
all, yes.
great back then. Now
Yeah.
anyone with an iPhone can do voiceovers.
I
So,
know.
but
I know.
you're kind of like in the inner circle. So that was a nice little run there for a few years. And then, yeah, in my sort of mid 20s, I knew my wife, but I met her, and became friends with her. And then I just kind of decided to take a little bit of a step back because I had done it for so long. And I did, I had some friends that wanted to do some real estate stuff. And I always, when I was a kid and when I was like 6, my song was, I want to be a builder. That was the song I like. I want to be a builder. Anyway, so
Very
I
nice.
always had this appreciation and affinity for building things. So I kind of, over the next 10 years, did that a lot.
Really?
Yeah, maybe
Oh,
not 10, 5 years, 6 years, something like that. And then I started having kids. So between, that kind of different career path and children, I just found myself diving into that. It also was a lot different. My wife and I were fine in a one-bedroom apartment for a decade. Then we
right,
moved to a
right.
teeny house in Highland
Yeah,
Park and had our first kid, and it
yeah,
was 800 square feet, and we didn't care. And like, we
right.
lived a very one car, very simple lifestyle. Now, Los Angeles, with, inflation, and I mean, having 3 kids in LA,
No, it's
it's
that.
craziness.
I don't know how
So,
you do it. Yeah.
well, so that almost, my children almost forced me back into,
Wow.
wow, I have to do this. And it kind of was, a funny thing. I got Jax, the recording artist, reached out to me and asked
I remember this. Okay, and
if I
just
would
real
be
quick,
in her
sorry, I want
music
to hear this whole
video.
story, but that's David Lashers, who is my executive producer of this podcast. That's his daughter's babysitter. Like, his daughter
Oh
is
my
the one that
God,
she got
is that
famous from
one?
the. Yes, that's David's daughter.
That's funny.
Crazy. So I know. So when I saw you on her TikTok, I'm like, Pat, what he's everywhere. And then Lizzo. And but let's hear
Yeah.
about Jax
Well,
first.
so it's you kind of said it, like I took matters into my own hand. I know that I look very similar, and I've lived with Sandlot my whole life and
I
know
know.
how,
Yeah.
no matter where I go, no matter what city, people know the
You're
movie,
killing
love
me.
the movie,
Yeah.
recognize me. And when you do that enough, you go, there've got to be millions of fans like of
Right.
this
Right.
movie. This is crazy. So I kind of said I want to do social media because I bet that this will be fun. And I would love to do something that I don't have to ask someone permission to do. So I
Yeah.
told Jax wanted me to be in a music video, and I said, sure, I'll do it, but tell Jax she has to teach me about this social media stuff because I'm a boomer, you know?
You are
So
fucking smart.
right? So she
What the
was like
fuck?
100%, and she fully took me under her wing, showed me how to launch. I did it.
Wow.
Um, and it kind of coincided. The 20th anniversary of Sandlot had happened, so I started traveling a little for that. And I did that photo with Tom Gyrie and the guy who had me on his shirt and didn't know who
Right
I
in the
was.
street. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you didn't realize. Yeah.
And then fuck Jerry picked it up and it went kind of
Yes.
viral. So that
Yeah.
was my first taste of it. I was like, wow, people are into this. So a couple of years later with Jax, she kind of showed me the ropes and just helped launch me on it. And
Right.
I just started having a lot of fun with it, making
Right.
little
Yeah. I
skits,
mean,
doing
you
little
were just there
trends.
one day.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, Pat just made a TikTok that has
Yeah.
17 million views. What? And they're hilarious. I mean, they're
Oh,
so
thanks.
you just really there's something about you. You just know how to go right into the pocket of what works for you. And I've
Sure.
always loved and admired that about you truly. And like, yeah, unfortunately, the entertainment industry, I used to be able to go into a room with a black and white headshot, my
I
resume
know.
stapled on the back, and my talent was what got me the job, not how many followers I have or this, that. I would have needed the same
Yeah.
lessons from, I mean,
Me
even just
too.
this journey, Pat, of like launching this podcast, I've
Yeah.
heard some of the most awful things, some of the most beautiful things, some things that friends have said, like, "Oh, she's so cringy posting." Yeah, I have to. I don't have a choice.
Sure.
I'm taking it in my own hands, and I'm gonna make this happen.
Yeah.
And when you do that, sometimes you have to do things that are uncomfortable or cringy to other people, but you one thing I really notice and observe about you is that when you know something is going to work, you lock in, right? So,
Yeah.
like, let's talk about Hambino Athletics.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that. What is that? How'd that start? The whole idea? Because it's a
Yeah.
clothing company, right? Just clothing.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, Hambino Athletics has kind of turned into Hambino Media, which is the production
Wow.
company that I run with Kyle.
Okay.
And so our first project is Dugout Dads, which we just finished.
Yeah.
And yeah, Hambino Athletics is a fun sort of athleisure line that, just has some fun images on there that we created and some different like signed things that if people want it.
Right.
But I mean, and I love that, but it was more the beginning of Hambino Media for me. It was kind
Which
of
is
phase one of
incredible.
it,
Wow.
and that's what I really love. I didn't take a step back from acting because I was failing or didn't like it. It just, I was more interested in my wife and having a family and,
Right.
you know, really at least supporting that phase of my life financially. And acting
Right.
wasn't necessarily doing it to the level I wanted.
Right.
Um, but my love has always been creating, art through motion picture or television or whatever. So that
Same.
I would say, yeah, Hambino Media is what it's become, and doing it with Kyle is really rewarding.
I can't
Um,
imagine. Yeah.
and we
This
have
is
a few things we're developing, and we might do a podcast too, so you might see us out there. But
do it.
that yeah, that is just my passion. So
Yeah.
we're leaning into it.
I love that so much. So from when that was created to now, like what are some of the things because it really blew up like over so what I noticed is it kind of blew up over COVID, right? Because that was the 25 year or whenever the 25-year anniversary for the Sandlot happened, it just
25 was 2018.
took off. That
It
was
was right
like
before COVID. Yeah.
right before COVID. It was like right before, I think that was right when I met Marty, something like that. And
Yeah.
I watched this whole thing, and it started with you. I think you put it out during COVID, right? That like big Zoom thing you did with
Oh,
the
yes.
Dodgers. Yes. And I really believe that sparked a lot of everything because it was so, even for me, right? Like you were one of my best friends growing up. Marty's one of my best friends. I mean, Chauncey and I were so close. And I'm still watching it like emotional. You know,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like, and that's really the charm and power of the Sandlot.
Yeah.
And specifically you know, who, yes, I understand, like, I mean, I've changed my face a little bit, but like, I also generally look like, you know, the redhead I
Yeah.
was in the 90s too. And it's like a thing you carry for your whole life, you know, but you found a way to give, I don't know how many people, but just if I'm thinking of all the boys, you know, an experience in their adulthood to come back all together, to be together and act again. I'm gonna
Yeah.
cry. I'm gonna cry. Oh my God, Libra.
No, it's, you know,
It's so
it
crazy.
was really cool. A lot of
Can
people,
you walk me through? Just tell me like the inception of it. It's you're the
yeah.
creator, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and Kyle,
So,
of course.
yeah, I mean, people always ask about the Sandlot and what it means to us. Like, do our kids watch it, this and that? And it's kind of a funny answer because I don't think our kids do watch it the way other kids watch it, because Sandlot to us doesn't mean the same as it does to everyone else.
Of course, yeah.
For me, that similar experience would be like the Goonies. Like I remember showing my kid the Goonies for the first time and he loved it. And
Hmm.
that's that experience for me, the movie that I watched on a rainy day and, Cyndi Lauper, the song, is it Cyndi Lauper? That's who it is, right?
I think it. Yeah, I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
Um, but like, so that's kind of our experience. But for Sandlot, and I don't mean that Sandlot isn't as special to us because it's equally as special to us, but what is the special part for us is the actual filming.
Right.
It's the behind the scenes, it's the memories on set with each other. It's the things we did off set because you could only work 8 hours a day. So, you sleep 10 hours. There's, what is that? There's another 6 hours that you can party and get in trouble. And boy, did we.
Totally.
And there's the
Yeah.
whole weekend. I'm pretty sure we had the whole weekend off. So it's those memories. It's like Chauncey and Brandon taking me shopping for new clothes, going to the movies, swimming in the pool at the hotel.
What'd you buy with Chauncey and Brandon?
Oh God, cross colors. Because Chris Cross was huge. So they made me buy cross color shorts. And I had never spent
That's
so much money on a pair of shorts as I did on cross
amazing.
colors.
Okay, wait, I have to tell you something funny. So Chauncey and I did a movie together when we were, I must have already known you, like 15 or something in Canada, right? And I don't know why they allowed for this, but like this is the epitome of the 90s, you guys. They rented hotel rooms for 4 months. Each mom had their own room and each kid had their own room.
Wow.
It was me, Chauncey, and this other kid named Tony. We were like 15,
Wow.
16. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on at
Yeah,
that
they
age,
had
right?
plenty of money. Yeah.
And then our own hotel rooms they were crazy, you know. But anyway, I don't know why I wanted to tell that story, but yeah, it's the in between stuff. I've also like I've traveled with a lot of you guys at the signings and stuff too, and like the
Yeah.
friendships are all really real. It's a very real thing that you guys have. So tell me, how did you come up with Dugout Dads? Because obviously I know you
Yeah.
can't do the Sandlot, and you did you want it to be a completely different thing than the Sandlot?
Uh, yeah. I
Okay.
mean, here's my view on Sandlot and sequels is
Okay.
I I wouldn't want to touch it.
I hear
I
you.
know that there were VHS sequels that came out, but we don't count that.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
I don't, I forget
yeah,
about those.
exactly. Um, but I think, the director of Sandlot, David Mickey Evans, he was the writer, director, narrator. He was everything. Like he made something really special. And he wrote Radio Flyer. So this dude is a talented guy.
God, what a
Um,
gift he's given the world.
and I love the way that Karate Kid did it with whatever that
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai,
Yeah.
because it's sort of not messing with the original IP, but it's sort of living in the same world. I
Right.
still think doing Sandlot, I just don't see it. I know they tried to
Right.
do it. I don't see it. I wouldn't want to do it just in case it wasn't good. You don't
Yeah.
want to ruin it. And
Right.
these kind of things can ruin it. Um, you know what I mean? Like they really
Yeah, you have to be
can.
so careful.
Unless you
Yeah.
unless you make it better. And if you make it better, then you're like, oh, like Top Gun was Maverick was better. So you're like,
Right,
okay,
right.
good job. But there's only like a few of those that did that, like
Right.
so I personally wouldn't want to do it. The way Dugout Dads came about is I was coaching my kids' little league team, and I started to notice how serious the parents took it, myself included. I'd be lying if I said I didn't get in a few arguments with other parents, umpires, all sorts of things.
What a
So my
full
kid,
circle too.
yeah, my kid was in the final. It was it was him and one other team for their league, and they lost in the finals. And I remember all the parents. We had this crazy season. We loved each other. It was so epic. We're all crying, hugging each other. I'm gonna miss you. Oh my God. And I look out on the field, and 5 seconds after the kids lost, they're just playing tag. They couldn't care less. And I went, this needs to be a show. The parents care more. So the log line of our show is the kids play baseball, the parents play for blood. So it's like, it's just about that sort of little league parenting.
Yeah.
And I always thought it was a funny idea. And Kyle and I were tossing it around. One day, I probably had just seen the Sandlot guys. I came into the office with Kyle and I said, okay, I got, or, the little league parents, but the Sandlot guys are the parents. And we went, that's a show.
That's a fucking
So
show.
we started developing it. And, Kyle is like, the guy's worked on so many TV shows. So he has,
Yeah, I don't know anything
all,
about what he's like since he's like 20.
I
So I
know,
don't
but
know.
I mean, he was so
Yeah.
successful in his 20s and
Amazing.
30s. And so
Wow.
he knows all these writers and all these talented people.
So
So
proud of him.
yeah, we called Sebastian Jones, who wrote on Friends for 8 seasons, and Dan Kopelman, or Sebastian then got Dan Kopelman, who wrote on 5 seasons of oh God, I can't believe I'm forgetting it. It just had a remake.
Uh, like everything.
Oh, I know. No, geez. Hold on. I gotta get this right. It's a huge show. I can't
You'll get
believe
it.
it. I'm blanking. I literally 12-hour days for 6 days.
Yeah, I can't
It
imagine.
it's been crazy. Um, Malcolm in the Middle. So
Malcolm in the Middle.
yeah, so
Okay.
both of these guys are been in big rooms.
Yeah.
Kyle worked with Sebastian on My Boys too, which was probably his longest running show. So we got them. Dan Coleman's a huge baseball fan. Sebastian is, just a fantastic writer. So they kind of put a little writers room together and wrote these 9 short form, comedy episodic series. So we don't know the end, they'll be somewhere between 8 and 10 minutes long.
Okay. How many?
9.
Oh, nine.
So we
Okay.
shot 9 of them.
Wow.
And Kyle then brought on this director, Victor Nelly, who knows half of Hollywood. I mean, these guys, like, they're kind of legends, they're like, they've been around, they know everyone. Victor got this director of photography, Michael Price, who, got this incredible camera team. Like, a fellow DP of his was a camera operator, like a DP, like a huge, like these. So we just had this amazing, crazy team. Everyone knew what the assignment was. It was, a week
Yeah.
of work basically for free. I mean, we
Right.
paid, but
Yeah,
nothing to
yeah.
write home about.
Yeah.
And
And
we
then
just made.
Danielle is just that just takes it over the edge. I mean,
So I
that
put the
literally
Sandlot guys
I
in,
was
and yeah.
bawling.
And through the developing, I was like, guys, I really think we need to, we need to have like a home life for me to sort of ground it, and we can cut back and forth. So I'll be, and I've known Danielle for a while, and I did her podcast, and I was like, gosh, she is still so funny. And then we were kind of developing some stuff with her, but then we just asked her, and she's like, yeah. I was like, will you play my wife in this? And the number one comment is, can't believe the Sandlot guys are back. Number 2 comment is, can't believe Topanga's in this.
Yeah, I
Number
can't
3,
believe Hams with or
well,
whatever.
the number 3 comment is, only in the movies does Ham get Topanga. And I'm like, I'm keeping it alive. Uh,
Well, I'm here to tell the audience he gets to ping in real
that's right.
life
That's
too,
right.
so shut the fuck up about my friend
Yeah, my
Brenna.
wife's quite a Topanga anyway.
Your
The
your wife
British
is
call it
George.
the
Oh my
British
God.
call it punching above your weight class. It's called punching
Is
for
that
all
what
you
it
men
is?
out there. Yeah.
Also, your kids are stunning, and I want
Oh,
to
thank
ask you
you.
real quick. So there was a commercial that just came out with you and your boy,
Yeah.
which, oh my God, I mean, it's all just too much. It's like,
I just opened a Coogan account for him. Can you believe it?
stop it. And you actually put money in it for him? I'm
I
kidding.
well, you have to.
That's just my trauma.
You
No,
have
there's
to.
ways around it, actually.
Oh God, well, I don't know these ways.
Sadly, yeah, sadly, so if you incorporate your child, they become a business and no
Oh
longer a
my
human.
gosh.
And if they're a minor, they can't be an officer of the company, like a secretary, treasurer, president, vice
Oh my God,
president.
don't tell the world this.
Oh
Stop saying
shit.
it. That's terrible.
I'll cut it out. I'll edit that out. But anyway, that's what my mom did to me. That's how she got
Oh,
everything.
that's
I'll remember
terrible.
to edit all that out.
Leave it
Yeah.
in.
Or please, I mean, it's all out there anyway.
It's
It's
out
not
there.
like it's a hidden thing.
It's
But
on
yeah,
you, world. Don't do it to your kid.
don't do that to your kids. And also, like, always let your kids tell you that they want to be doing it. Um, so my obvious curiosity is, does your boy like it? Like, is it something that excites him?
Yeah, he loved it.
Oh boy,
It was the most stressful day for me
for
on
you.
set ever.
Really?
Yeah, just because I'm there as an actor and we have three kids, so my wife is watching the other two. So I was
Right,
actor and guardian.
right.
Um,
Oh my gosh. Did he
you
have a big
know,
role in it?
yeah,
Okay.
it was me and him.
Is he
Um,
good? Is he good?
oh, you mean in Dugout Dads? He's not in Dugout Dads.
Oh, okay,
No,
okay.
no,
Oh,
no.
in the commercial. Yeah, okay. You're talking about the
Yeah,
commercial.
yeah.
I see what you
No,
mean. Okay.
there's no way I made him my kid in Dugout Dads. I wouldn't have been able to do it.
You
I
wouldn't have been able to handle it, no.
No, and I had to sit him down and be like, just so you know, the reason you're not playing my kid in this is not because of you, it's because of me. I wouldn't be able to do it. And he's like, okay. He's like, he does some of the extra scenes with his buddies.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because we
That's
filmed it
cool.
at his little league. So I know all the
Right.
guys and the
Yeah.
board, and we rented the field. And so I got that little league out there, and
It's
all of his teammates
amazing.
played and they had fun.
And how much are the other guys, like how much can we expect to see the other guys in it
I
from
mean,
the
Chauncey plays my assistant coach, so he's,
What's that?
throughout. Brandon Adams, Grant Gelt, and who else? And Marty play other coaches in the same league. And then Tom Gyrie plays the commissioner, and he's fucking fantastic. Uh,
He's so
they're
brilliant.
all great, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot how good of actors they all are. Like the scene with
Yeah.
me and Brandon, I'm like, holy shit, dude! I forgot how talented you are.
Yeah,
Same,
he's
with all
so
of them, he's so good. You
all
forget
all
that,
of you
yeah,
guys.
they're
I
all
mean,
really good.
Chauncey, come
Chauncey's
on. Oh,
incredible.
this was the story I was going to tell real quick. I don't want to forget because you talked about spending all that money on the crisscross. So when we got to Canada, the very first thing Chauncey wanted to do, the second we got our per diem, and I remember like his mom gave him all his per diem or something. I'm like, Mom, can I have mine? She's like, No, you're in a different situation. I was like, Oh, okay. But he took it was like $250 and he like came back and he had like the brand new like Nike Dunks or whatever was like popping right at that moment. And
Yep.
I'm like, Who are you? You are so
Oh, he was
and that's
and
Chauncey,
still
you
to this
know?
day is very fashionable.
Yes, I mean Chauncey really put me up on a lot of fashion music.
I'm
He
telling
was
you,
just
they
ahead
forced
of
me.
yeah. People really
Brandon and
thought he
him.
was like squint. He was not squints in real
No,
life. I'll tell you that. No, 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 no. He's always been the coolest of all of us, really.
he's all tatted up now, and
Yeah.
yeah, and then Victor and Shane have a real fun part. They kind of are in it together,
Oh,
and there's
those are
like
the
some,
brothers. Yeah.
yeah, but there's no, it's its own story. It's an
Yeah.
original idea, and just with the boys, the
It's
guys, and
perfect.
um,
Yeah.
so my hope would be that people love it and we can just continue to make this show.
Right.
Um, it's not that I wouldn't do a Sandlot, but again, it worries me. I don't, because I see how much it
Right.
means to people, and I'm like,
Right.
I don't want to ruin it. Like,
Right.
I
Yeah, I
don't,
mean, it's been such a conversation about Alex Mack too, and we were actually running all over town doing pitch meetings and for a couple years and it looked like it was going to go and for whatever reason things happen in the universe. It is what it is, but to your point thinking back, it's such, it's perfection in the way it
yeah,
is. And we most likely would fuck it up if we tried to do it again. And you figured
Most
out a
likely.
way to bring back that nostalgia because really I think what the fans are craving is just to see us together. You know, they get so much joy even just when we post pictures together or we at events or whatever it is. So I think that what you did in creating this Dugout Dads just to see all of you guys together as adults is going to be um a very
Yeah.
special thing. A
Yeah.
very special thing. What's like okay, outside of all of that, and then I have a final question to ask you. What's life like? Like just what's normal life like for
I mean,
Pat
with
Renna?
3 kids, we live life for our kids now,
Mm.
and it's great, but it's sneaking in those moments. My wife and I will just sit and have a cup of coffee and be like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. It's so fun to just talk to each other. We barely do it anymore."
Oh,
But it's amazing, like it's and no matter if you have kids or you don't, Kyle and I, we want to do a reality television show about each other because we live polar opposite
oh
lives.
my
Like,
God.
I mean, I'm half kidding, but
That would be
he's
amazing though.
he's not, doesn't have kids, doesn't want kids. If he's not working, he's in Zion in his Sprinter van, or building schools for kids, or volunteering in Malibu to fix after the fires, or like he's such a good dude and just lives that different lifestyle. So
Yeah.
he's like scaling, Half Dome in Yosemite, and I'm like changing a diaper while my
Right?
other kids like laughing at me, and it's
Yeah.
just those polar opposite lives. And I think we really complement each other. But for me, yeah, I have, my son, my oldest is 9. Uh, my middle child 6, and we have a 1-year-old daughter now. She just turned 1 3 days ago.
Congratulations.
Um, yeah, thanks. So we're just, getting by with them and
Yeah. And
putting them in
how long you been
sports.
married now?
20 years this October.
What?
Yeah,
This October. What's the date?
October 6th. Geez, I shouldn't have had a hesitation there.
No, 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 it's fine just because my birthday's the 4th. So
Oh,
just so you know, your marriage is a Libra.
oh, great,
Yeah.
good, perfect.
So you're right on track. I'm gonna ask you the same question I ask everybody as we kind of close up the interview here. And it's an interesting one because it means something to, something different to everybody, but especially because of what you've just done and everything. I named this show We're Still Here, Babe. The babe is Natanya. I get it, but
I love it.
thank you. But I think a lot of people either think I'm dead or, like I died of an OD a long time ago or whatever. And it's just kind of like, we're still here, all of us. We're
Yeah.
still here, So with you, somebody who's so active, and like I said, somebody who really knows how to take the matters into their own hands and create art for not just yourself, but your friends. I take notice of that. That's really beautiful. So when you hear we're still here, what does that mean to you?
I think you said it wonderfully, whether people are still doing it or they're not, I think, the tough thing about this day and age is everything is so readily available. And,
Mm,
when we were kids, the one thing that I always remind myself is when you meet people in person, 99 out of 100 are sweethearts. And even that 1 out of 100 is just having a bad day. You know what I mean? Like, and I truly believe that,
I
like,
love that.
that people are innately good, and it's so easy to hide behind keyboards and things like that. And it's funny too, like you mentioned comments and things. I don't read them because I don't care. And if I do read them, I would care. So I just try not to. But
Right.
half of the time it's bots anyway. And that's the
Right.
real thing you have to remember is
I know.
the sad thing is this, like, this sort of um, the big companies or the media or the people that are pitting each other against each other. It's not true. It's fake.
Right.
We don't live in this massive polarized world. I have not sat down with people and not been able to come to a common agreement, no matter for what side we're both on. And I
Right.
just remind myself that
Yeah.
everyone I meet in person is really good. And even if I meet someone completely on the opposite side of me on something, we still find a happy ground. And, so I know that's not really an answer to we're still here, but
No, it's a
um,
perfect answer,
I
really.
think that's kind of the point of we're still here is
Yeah,
like people did it, they don't do it anymore, some do, and everyone
right.
is, a lot of people ask about Mike Vitar, Benny, where is he? Oh, why isn't he doing it? Because he doesn't want to.
Yeah,
It's that fucking simple.
wants to be
And
left
we've
alone.
asked him, and I had an email with him just the other day, and he was so polite and kind to me.
Mhm.
He just doesn't want to, and
Yeah,
that's okay. He's
yeah,
allowed to not want to, you
right,
know?
right.
Um, and I think that's just an important thing to remember that you don't know what people are thinking or why they're doing it, and you just have to remember that. And that, yeah, there's a lot of people just around, living life and trying to make the best of it. So,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I know how busy you are. I know how busy all of us are. It just means the world. And you were one of my absolute favorite friends growing up, like truly,
Oh,
And those were the days, huh?
yeah, for sure.
Those were
Your
the days.
apartment, you had all the ragers.
We did. We smoked. Well, I smoked cigs in the bathroom, and you were like,
I,
"You should stop doing that."
Yeah, me,
But
Bob,
we
and Kyle were the healthy ones, but
It's
we might
true.
have slipped a few years later. So we're not,
Maybe.
yeah, we're
But
not,
I was the wild child that you guys had to
for
take
sure
care
you
of.
were, but we
And
loved it.
you took good care of me, and I'm just
You were
very
always
proud of
kind to everyone though, and
you.
you still are.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for saying that. I try. I really it's so important.
yeah,
It's free.
it is
There's
free.
nothing cooler than being kind, truly.
It's true.
And now the whole world knows what a sweetie Pat Renna is. Gotcha.
Got me. Well,
I love
thank
you.
you for having me on. This is great.
Of course. All right. I love you.
Love you.
We're Still Here, Babe is proudly sponsored by Moonglade Recovery Community. You guys know how loud I am about mental health. It is one of the most important things that we have to take care of, and I will forever advocate for it. Moonglade Recovery Community is a clinician-owned and operated, highly structured luxury mental health primary and substance abuse primary outpatient treatment community. We say community, you guys, because honestly, the opposite of loneliness is connection, and connection is so important in the process of treatment. Moonglade is an art and nature influenced program providing heavy clinical and trauma-focused mental health programming, and that's the good stuff, you guys. Getting into that trauma, releasing it. It's located in Agora Hills, California. Moonglade is nestled in the hills close to Malibu, Calabasas, and Thousand Oaks. It's gorgeous, but most importantly, if you or anybody you know is looking for information about mental health or substance abuse treatment, intensive group therapy, and or individual therapy, please contact Moonglade Recovery Community. Their phone number is 213-398-9379. And the rest of their information is on our website. We're Still Here, Babe is also proudly sponsored by Intramidacel and Lathanized NAD+. It's an oral form of NAD that underwent a double-blind randomized controlled study proving that it gets to your cells by 53% in 5 days. From the healthiest of people to the toughest of cases, NAD Plus is proving to make a difference in physical function, energy levels, and cognition in people's everyday lives, really. The cost is way more effective than clinic IV infusions. The powder is your restore, and the lozenges are your maintenance. So check out intramitocell.com to contact a team member for more information or questions on the product. And all the information will be on our website. And again, thank you so much for listening to another episode of We're Still Here, Babe, hosted by me, Natanya Ross.